Hey, in NBA history, while we just spoke about the Suns and Chris Paul and his great impact, CP3, the NBA's MVP this year. Like I said, forget all the numbers and all of that. You know what I'm saying? If we go by hooping, CP3 was the MVP in leadership. You know what I'm saying? Turned the whole Suns around, got them to the finals. So anyway, with that being said, on this day, CP3 re-signs with the Houston Rockets after he played his phenomenal first season in Houston. They went ahead and re-signed the contract. So I feel like there's nothing better than to revisit Chris Paul's time in Houston. You know what I'm saying? As a Texas baby myself, you know what I'm saying? I spent a lot of great years in Houston myself. I used to live in the great city of Houston. So I got a lot of love for the H. So with that being said, shout out to the H. You know what I'm saying? With that being said, we got to revisit Chris Paul's time in Houston. So in his first season in Houston, he played 58 games. He averaged 18.6 points per game and 7.9 assists per game. So those were decent numbers from Chris Paul, great numbers, you know what I'm saying? In this season, he helped lead the Rockets to an NBA best 65-17 record. You know what I'm saying? And that was Houston's franchise best record. So Chris Paul, you know what I'm saying, his first year, they already turned around. So we see what he does. So at Houston, and also he wasn't done. He took them all the way to the Western Conference Finals. And in my opinion, and I know many other people's opinion, if he would have never got hurt, they might have would have went to the finals. They had the Warriors down 3-2. All they needed was one more win. They had them down 3-2. And Chris Paul, I felt like in one of those games he would have played at full strength without being injured. They definitely could have hit the finals. So shout out CP3 in his first season in Houston. In his second season in Houston, I feel like was pretty good as well. You know what I'm saying? He played 58 games. He averaged 15.6 points per game and 8.2 assists per game. And we got to mention James Harden was on these teams. So for sure, you know, James Harden going to score most of the buckets. And Chris Paul is a smart player. You know, he's the true point guard. He going to get the ball around. So, you know what I'm saying, the 15.6 and the 8.2 assists, we see he did his job. The Rockets won 53 games this season. So they won over 50 games, which in my opinion, if a team wins over 50 games in the season, that's a successful season. You know what I'm saying? So they won 53 games, and they lost in the second round to the Warriors, which you can't blame them. We know what the Warriors had back then, all that firepower. You know what I'm saying? They was definitely always the king of the Western Conference at that time. So they lost to them in the second round. Maybe if they would have met up with them in the conference finals, or if they would have played somebody else, they might have went further in the playoffs. But we're not gonna revise history. You know what I'm saying? They did lose to the Warriors in the second round. But the whole point is we see Chris Paul has been a great leader everywhere he's played. You know what I'm saying? The Rockets haven't been back to that level since he left. Ever since CP3 has left Houston, I feel like they're still trying to find that groove and get back to the point where they can get back to the Western Conference Finals. So, like I said before, Chris Paul in Phoenix, he has a great team, you know what I'm saying, a great coach who he's comfortable with, who he's played with before in New Orleans. So with that being said, I'm happy to see Chris Paul's success on the Suns. You know what I'm saying? Chris Paul is a legendary point guard, and I believe this will be the year he gets his first ring. You know what I'm saying? I'll be happy to see it, and I'll be celebrating with Chris Paul. So shout out CP3. You know what I'm saying? Just 3 games away. Only 3 games away. Well, I just want to thank everybody for tuning in to another episode of The Lifestyle Sports. It's AI from the 210. Don't forget to comment, subscribe, like. Follow on IG at The Lifestyle Sports Podcast, at Allen Iverson, ALAN Iverson. Until next time.